President Trump's border czar Tom Homan denying any wrongdoing after reports that he accepted $50,000 in cash from undercover FBI agents.
Look, I did nothing criminal. I did nothing illegal. And it's hit piece after hit piece after hit piece. And I'm glad the FBI and DOJ came out and said, said that nothing illegal happened and nothing, no criminal activity.
The New York Times reports Homan took the money in exchange for agreeing to help win federal contracts in Trump's second term. Now, House and Senate Democrats want to hear why the Justice Department closed that investigation this year. And they also want access to any recordings of Homan allegedly taking the money. Joining me now is Mark Greenblatt, former Inspector General for the Interior Department. Mark, good to have you here. So both the FBI and the Justice Department say there's no credible evidence of any criminal wrongdoing. There could, though, be an independent watchdog, maybe the Inspector General of the Justice Department, who could look into it to verify it. In your view, is that worth it at this point? What would that offer up?
Absolutely. I think that would be the great the value that the Inspector General can bring to this very type of allegation is that transparent, independent view. Here's the problem, though. Under the Inspector General Act, there's a special carve-out for these very types of matters that sends those not to the IG, but to the Office of Public Responsibility. Here's the problem with that. That office reports to the Attorney General. So then you have a situation in this case where the Attorney General and her staff would be essentially investigating itself, as opposed to an independent body like the Inspector General. That's the key problem here, is that there isn't that angle of transparency and independence that the Inspector General can bring.
This has quite the headline, right? That certainly makes you stop. A bag of cash, $50,000. But our own legal analyst, Ellie Honig, pointed out just how difficult it would be to prove bribery, to prove intent here, especially considering that there were recent Supreme Court rulings, right, which make it a really high bar for what constitutes bribery. So there would have had to have been a very clear case here.
Erica, you're completely right. Ellie is completely right, and I would defer to him as a longtime prosecutor on those specific legal aspects. The Supreme Court over the years has narrowed and raised the bar, as you say, on what constitutes bribery. And the other problem here is that we don't know what official actions, if any, Mr. Homan took while in office. It's one thing to talk about it beforehand. It's another thing to do it while in office. That seems to be a key gap here, a key void in the evidence. There may be evidence. We don't know. That hasn't come to light publicly. But that would be the key thing, is did he take official actions to help these purported executives who are actually FBI undercover officers?
When it comes to the Justice Department's Office of Professional Responsibility, what are the kind of investigations, right, that they would oversee that the Inspector General at the Justice Department would not?
Right. So they do anything where DOJ personnel, this is attorneys, law enforcement personnel, are litigating, investigating, or providing legal advice with respect to matters under DOJ's jurisdiction. That's going to go to OPR by law. Under the Inspector General Act, it must go to OPR. The Inspector General does other kinds of misconduct, but that special carve-out prohibits them actually from looking at in this case, prosecutors or investigators that are providing advice to more senior folks at the department, or the department senior leadership making decisions. That would be at OPR rather than OIG. And I worked in the OIG, one of the primary offices that deals with these investigations, and we take that carve-out very, very seriously.
Mark Greenblatt, great to have you here. Thank you.
Thank you.